ESPN's Get Up this morning. Rex Ryan, Dan Orlovsky on Deshaun Watson and the Browns' offensive system.
Last time we saw Deshaun Watson play in that system that we saw all those other guys have success in, he completed 13 passes in a row against Baltimore, leading his team to a victory with a dang bad shoulder. So to me, they decided, hey, look, we're going to go all in on Ken Dorsey offensive system. That did not look like a Kevin Stefanski
at all
system.
But here's my thing, Rex. Even in moments when they do run it, because there were a couple moments where they would get into 12 personnel, one back, two tight ends, and they go play action, it still doesn't work. The play fakes aren't succinct. He's thrown into double coverage down the field. That's where I sit there and I go crisis, because there are moments when they try to run it and it's not executed well. Then there's moments when they try to do this spread out, catch and throw, whatever. No one in their offense is built to run that. You think Wyatt Teller, who's the best right guard in football, or certainly one of them, wants to just sit there and go pass protect the whole game? But they're handcuffing everybody else. And then also, I'm not naive to reality of, like, the offensive line didn't play well yesterday, okay? Like, Deshaun certainly was under duress. I do think it was attached to the scheme. But there's no plus plays either. There's no where you go, oh, there's that magic from Houston. And it feels like everyone's still holding on to that.
You know, Jeff, when I watched that, the thing that I was expecting more open space. That there wasn't a lot of open space. How is it that every other offensive scheme you can see, hey, there's grass, there's guys running, everything's combined and clustered in together?
Well, to be fair, and I think the biggest issue that we're having is I think Deshaun, by the time the ball is snapped, he's predetermined where he's going with the ball, which is obviously just something you cannot do at this league. And this was the point of the Browns doing what they've been doing the last few years in bringing in Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy and, of course, Elijah Moore, and having all these wide receivers, and unfortunately David Njoku, who's going to miss a little time, was that there was no way a defense is going to cover everybody on every given play. And, there were guys open yesterday. There were. And some of it, I don't know if he was starting to feel ghost pressure because he had been pressured so much, which would be understandable. It would be. But there's just something about where he is just not getting the ball, and gripping and ripping into open space anymore. I think the nicest pass he probably threw yesterday was probably the first ball he threw, which was, a short, quick out to Amari Cooper. A lot of people were gasping for air because they thought it was going to be picked, but, we threw it high and out, and Mari made the catch, got the first down, which led to their first points to the field goal. I don't know, and look, I think we're well beyond, is he ever going to be the player he was in Houston? And, my expectations certainly, have been tempered and lowered from that for a while. All I asked for was a high completion percentage and low interceptions, because you know what? Then the statistical output would probably be pretty decent, and it wouldn't be, that bad. But you just can't get that right now. And there's just way too many inconsistencies. You cannot be a starting quarterback in the NFL, and I don't care how much money you're making and have a completion percentage in the 50s. It was just, it was a really, really rough day. And look, credit to Dallas, and credit to Mike Zimmer. And I don't know how much of a Kevin Stefanski offense we saw yesterday with a Ken Dorsey mix in it or whatever. But honestly, it should have been all Ken Dorsey yesterday, because, Zimmer certainly has, a relationship with Kevin Stefanski. But everything we saw yesterday, it just seemed like Dallas was, 2 to 3 steps ahead at the entire time. And we're talking about Dallas, who had a bunch of guys who didn't play this summer either. So you can't even take that into an account. There's a lot to be said. There's a lot to be done, because, this team and the effort they put out yesterday and just the way it all looked, it looks like they were a long, long way, from this team that we thought was going to win the AFC North.